Ever wondered how much it really costs to retire by the beach in Ecuador? I sat down with the grumpy old Gringo, a YouTuber who's cracked the code on living the good life in Manta. From beachside bliss to real costs, we're breaking down the numbers no one else talks about, including the surprising expense that's catching retirees off guard.
So a really important factor of both relocating and also retiring is the amount of money you need to go to certain places. Obviously, it's going to make a massive difference or make a massive change to your lifestyle if you have to go to a high-cost place when you don't have the budget for it. So as a person that is retired here, how is the budget sense for that topic?
That's a good question because it's a big topic here. And when I first came here, it was really cheap, and now it's just cheap. It's a person can live here, a single person, because I can only speak for a single person, can live here really, I think, comfortably here close to the beach with an ocean view for $1,700, $1,800 a month.
That's including everything?
Everything, yeah. Rent and food, everything.
Can you break down the main things? Because I know the main things most people spend money on are the rent, transport, food, and maybe some entertainment. Could you give your averages for those?
I can look at my budget because I keep meticulous records, and it goes, for me, it's, of course, rent's always the highest. The utilities is usually down at the bottom of the list. The next is food and booze, There is no bargain on alcohol here, and I don't drink a lot. I drink 2 beers a day and a glass of wine after dinner, and I spend $200 a month or more on beer and wine.
On just beer and wine?
Just on beer and wine.
Yeah, beer is actually surprisingly expensive here.
It really is. I mean, you can buy cheap and affordable beer here, but you're not going to like it,
Which beer do you drink?
Pilsner.
Pilsner. Gotcha. You don't like the club?
Yellow can. Club's okay. If they don't have my Pilsner, I'll get Club.
I prefer Club over Pilsner. It's a little bit stronger flavor, drier. Yeah. I like it.
That's the two #1 beers in Ecuador, Club and Pilsner.
Right.
Yeah. And then after your housing and then your food and booze, entertainment, fun and entertainment, then it's transportation, I would say. But even at that, transportation is dirt cheap. A taxi ride. Well, when I came here, a common taxi ride was $1.25. Now it's $1.50 to $2.
Skyrocketed.
Yeah, so it's gone up. I drive a car because I don't like taking taxis, and mainly because I get car sick so easily, and it's vertical's a real problem for me. So, but even at that, I drive a car and I spend $20 a month on gas, and that's it, pretty much it, and
would you recommend for other people moving here to buy a vehicle, to drive vehicles?
No, not unless you got some brass kahunas, because it's like it's tough. It's very tough driving here because it's not like driving in North America. There are, as far as I know, there are no traffic rules here. It's pretty much every man for himself. This city was not prepared to have a traffic management system, and you can tell by the way the roads are laid out and the one-way streets, and people can park anywhere. People can just stop in the road and get out and go in and shop, and it takes a lot of courage, and you have to have really thick skin to drive here, It's a learning experience. I've been driving for 2 years now, and the first year was misery for me, but now I pretty much know how to do it, and once you get out of the city, then it's okay.
It's a whole different style, though, isn't it?
It's a different style of driving. You just have to be head on a swivel all the time.
Right. Constantly aware of everywhere, because there's so many. And one thing I noticed when I drove my bike into Ecuador is that insurance is not mandatory.
It's not mandatory.
So people actually, when I was in Puerto Lopez a couple of days ago, I watched a hit and run in front of my restaurant where I was having lunch. Boom! He smashed into the car.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. It's like smashed into the corner of this parked car. And I'm like, okay, it was a Sunday, so he's drunk, obviously. Yeah. And he just backed up. He had the back of his car open with a massive speaker. He was just playing music on the beach drinking. Yeah. So he backed up, just sped off. Yeah. The owner of the car was like, watching in the U.S., it would have been like, hey, what are you doing? The fight would have started. The guy would have written down the license plate. The owner just watched him, like waiting for him to stop or something. I was like, why aren't you doing something? I was confused, like how they, how they solve those.
I have a good friend here who's riding a bicycle on Flavio Reyes, got hit by a truck, ran over the bicycle, completely destroyed it, took off.
Yeah.
Didn't even check to see if he was all right.
Oh yeah. So that definitely is a good suggestion or good piece of advice. If you're not like really, you said cojones of steel, right?
Yeah. Brass cojones.
Brass cojones.
Brass cojones.
I guess you and I are part of the Brass Cojones Club right here. That's right there. So what would you suggest for a retiree thinking about budgeting and coming here? Do you think the $1,800 is pretty adaptable for most people?
Today, no, it's a little bit more today. I mean, today, a single person should plan on a couple thousand a month.
Like $2,000, you think is a pretty comfortable amount? And then how about a couple?
And a couple, 2,700. If I know people that have 3,000 in income, and they live very nice here. It's the thing about living here is it's so easy to save money here. Because everything is cheaper except beer. It's so easy to save money here. I'd save more money living here than I did anywhere at any time in the United States.
Oh yeah. That just, it's a whole different world for the prices here for sure.
I live a good, nice, comfortable life here, and I have more money in the bank now than I did the day I moved here. So,
Regarding retirement payments, are there any benefits for getting your money here? Or do you have to pay taxes on that stuff here? Or
once you make a certain amount, then it's like $14,500. Over that, there's a scale.
That's per month or per year?
Per year.
Per year.
Yeah, so there's a scale. I do not have to pay income tax. I have CDs here. I still don't make enough. I make enough to really, really help me a lot. I have not, for the last 2 years, I've not paid any income tax whatsoever. First time in my life.
So for people that get a certain amount, they should check into that though?
Yes, if you're coming here and you're making 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year, you better plan on giving the Ecuadorian government some of that money. Most people that I know that come here and retire here don't have to worry about taxes. No, it's not a big deal. And I get sales tax back. I get a refund every month on my sales tax that I pay for everything.
So you have to save all the receipts, all that, and you just turn it in?
No, you use your cedula.
Oh, you
automatically just registered to SRI.
Because you write it down every time they ask you for it. Every
down. It goes, when I at the restaurant and I pay, I give them my debit card or cash and my cedula, and they record it. And that transaction, my name goes to SRI. And at the end of the month, I do a tax return, or the beginning of the month, I do a tax return and I see everything that was recorded, and I'm allowed up to $110 back. So I do it every month.
So you get, basically, you almost don't even pay sales tax here because most of that money comes back to you, right?
Yep.
That's kind of a bizarre thing. It's actually, a lot of countries do that for tourists. So like if you're a tourist and you show, I think you have to keep all the receipts. So if you show your passport. I mean, when it comes to like when I go, I'm a tourist, so I'm on the tourist visa. And when I go to places, they ask me for the cedula. I'm like, well, I don't have one, so I can't record it in my name or my number. I mean, I don't think they do that with passports, but I haven't looked into it. Maybe they do. So if anyone has any information about that, let me know. That would be beyond me. But yeah, in terms of like that benefit, that's a pretty big benefit on top of it, right? Like the taxes that you actually do pay, you pretty much get a lot of it back. So that's pretty amazing. That's a good benefit for all of you.
I bought a Roomba today. One of those electronic vacuum cleaners that runs around your place. And I get $39 back in taxes at the end of the month on that Roomba.
On just that, huh? That's fantastic.